Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. As you can tell from the title of this video, this is going to be baby names we love or one of us likes that we may be using. I have my husband here with me, Corey. He's been in a few of my videos. And we also have Shiloh here, if you could hear her. I'm gonna grab her. She likes when we're on the floor, I think, because she always comes when I'm filming. Okay, I am saying that these are names that we may use because we have our job name for our baby, but I want to make sure I see her first before naming her. So I'm pretty much just going to go through the list of names that are potential or names that if it was completely up to me, I would use, but Corey doesn't like. And I know you have at least one name that you like that I don't, because you mentioned it the other day.
Yeah, I don't remember.
Okay. Oh, I thought it'd be fun also if we started with these. I got these today. You want to try?
I guess. Turned into a candy trying video.
No, just a little short. Oh, you want some? They're sour strips by Max Tuning. They're now in Target, which is probably very exciting for him. I've heard they're actually very sour.
Very sour?
Not as sour as I was expecting. People are like...
Yeah, not as sour as like those strips. I don't know if you ever had those, like kind of like straws. But... They're
sour, but not like, every time I see people trying them, they're like I don't know, I think they're doing it on purpose. I'll give it 6 out of 10. What do you give?
Pretty yummy. Probably like 7.5.
Yeah. I was just expecting it to be more sour. Early on in my pregnancy, I really liked sour stuff. That kind of went away. Anyway, so the first name that I really like, and it's not on this list because it's a name I would never use, it's named Banks. And obviously we can't use that because our last name is Banker, and Banks Banker just sounds really dumb, and I just wouldn't do that to a child. But do you like that name if it wasn't for your last name?
I don't know, it's not even worth thinking about, so.
I was just wondering what you think.
I don't know, because I'd have to think of it in regards to another last name.
Well, okay, think about it with
make up a hypothetical last name.
Banks Manu. That doesn't sound very good.
It sounds a little strange.
Okay, anyway, so that's a name I really like. Maybe if you have the last name that fits it, I think it's very cute. You can use it for a girl or boy. I would use it for a girl. Actually, that's one thing. I like unisex names for girls. I think you can name any baby anything, but that's the best way to put it. And then for boys, I like more like strong masculine names most of the time. You at least kind of like unisex names, not as much as me though.
Yeah, definitely not as much as you.
And I also like, we both like unique names, and by unique I mean names that everyone knows but just aren't used very often. And then I like more unusual names, and that's why I said that at the beginning of the video, if it was completely up to me to name our children, they would have very unusual names, but Corey's not very into that. So the next name I have on my list is the name Knox, and I would use this for a girl or a boy. What do you think? You're just not
How do you spell it again?
K-N-O-X.
For some reason I like N-O-X better than K-N-O-X.
Okay. I didn't know you even liked that one at all. I like Knox. I think Knox, even Knox Banker sounds good.
I don't know. I kind of like it. If it's spelled K-N-O-X,
I can spell N-O-X.
It makes you think of Fort Knox. And like that's just a weird connotation to have for a person's name. And
I would use that one for actually a girl or a boy. I don't have a preference. See, the only thing is spelling it with an N. I don't want any of our kids to have a name that starts with an N or a C, because like I want them to have their own initial.
That doesn't matter.
It does to me. The next name I like for a girl is Lucy, and I think I've mentioned this one to you. For some reason you don't like it.
Way too basic.
So that's a basic, probably the most basic name I like, but people don't use the name Lucy anymore. Like, I don't know what the only person I've known growing up named Lucy, I have no contact with her at all. I think it's a nice name.
Is it short for something, or am I just...
Some people are named Lucille, and then they go by Lucy.
Okay.
That's another thing. I
think there's also some, we talk about this a lot, like room for other children to make fun of her at a certain age.
Why?
Probably more so like later in life, but...
What, Lucy?
Well, yeah, something like that.
So dumb. I also really like short names, most of the time 1 syllable, sometimes 2 syllables. Very few names I like that are 3 syllables or more. You mostly like short names too.
I don't really have a preference on that.
One thing we both agree on is we don't really like names that have nicknames especially me, because I don't like the idea of someone else picking my child's nickname, and that also makes me want short names, because I feel like the shorter your name, the more likely you won't have a nickname at all. The next name that I like is Nora, which I think you also said no to this one.
Nah, don't like it.
Nora's kind of old school, but I think it's very sweet for a baby, and then like when you grow up, Nora also still works. So it's on the list. I don't think, again, because it starts with an N, I don't think I would ever use it since my name's Nicole and I want our kids to have different initials, but it is a name I like. The next name I like is the name Cross for a boy. I think you said no to this one.
Yeah, no.
I would 100%, this would probably be like, other than our top boy name, which I'm not going to share because if we have a boy, it's the name we're probably going to use. This would probably be the name, if it was completely up to me, I would use. I love it. I think Cross Banker sounds really cool too.
You
and
can
like,
go marry Kanye West. You'd probably like that name.
I think Cross Banker sounds really good too. And just like, again, like a strong name, like, and it makes you think twice. You see the name Cross, you're like, like, I like those kind of names. The next name, which I think you said, like, it's all right, is Onyx, and that's a pretty unusual name. I think that's definitely like a potential contender, but probably pretty down the list. Like, we would have to have like maybe 5. Oh, maybe if we had like 4 girls, Onyx might make it there. If we had 4 girls, Onyx might make it. I'm gonna skip a few because I do want to make another one of these videos for our future children. And if I said every single name, we'd be here forever. So the next name that I really like for a girl, also Onyx, I would use for a girl, but I think you could use it for a girl or boy, but I don't really like it for a boy. The next name for a girl, I like the name Lennox. I like a lot of X names, I'm realizing that. And you were also okay with Lennox, right? Lennox
is a little strange to me. I think that's a French word, right? L-E-N-O-U-X.
No. It's, first of all, spelled L-E-N-O-X. I know some.
Well, I know, I'm just saying.
I don't think it's a French word.
I randomly looked it up the other day, but it's a long story of how I got there.
Okay.
I forget what it means. But anyways, I don't really like how the name sounds. But it does kind of go into a name I was thinking of the other day.
What name?
But I can't remember the full name. All I can remember is Lex, L-E-X.
I like Lex too, but then that gets common, then you get Lexi. And it's funny that you like Knox, but you don't like Lennox. Obviously they sound different, but they have like the same spelling within. And I feel like even if we named a girl Lennox, like we could call her Knox, which I actually like.
No, I don't like that at all.
Okay. The next name that I really like, but unfortunately it's one of those names that I think it's so cute and sweet for a baby, but once you grow up, like you're like, you don't want that to be your name, is the name Lemmy. I think it's so cute for a baby, but there's just absolutely no way as an adult you want your name to be Lemmy. If that's your name, I'm sorry, but I think
that's a good point.
I think most people understand like what you mean. Like there are just some names like they just don't age well, and that's something I feel like I pay attention to when I'm thinking about baby names. Okay, let's skip a few again. Oh, this one I did want to mention because this is probably my all-time favorite name. Unfortunately, I'll probably never get to use because of Corey. It's the name Golden. I think Golden is so sweet. We would 100, if it was completely up to me, this baby's name would be Golden. I love the name. I think it's like, so Goldie's a name people use. Goldie's also cute, but like now is coming back, so it's a little bit too common for me. But Golden, I've only ever seen twice. One of the actresses from the show Girlfriends, her real name is Golden. And then I've seen on TikTok this woman, her baby's name was Golden. And her baby was actually a boy. So it could go either way. I would use it for a girl. For a boy, it's just like not really like strong enough for my preference.
Maybe if the the baby comes out holding a bar of gold, we can consider that name.
All right, I'm gonna like shove a bar of gold up there. They're like, oh my gosh. The name that you mentioned, I think it was last night or the night before that you liked that I wouldn't use, I don't mind it though, is the name Simone. Do you remember?
Simone?
Yeah. Because it was in the Montessori baby book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
So I got this book, the Montessori baby, and I also have the Montessori toddler.
Oh, that's on your list now?
It's not on my list, but I was saying that it's a name that like you like. So I was
that was one that came up for me.
Yeah. So we have both of those books because we're gonna do like Montessori based parenting and gentle parenting. I don't want to say completely because we're not gonna follow it completely. I'm not conventionally trained in it also, so I'm sure I'll do some things wrong. But yeah, the woman in that book, is it the author or just?
No, it was just like a person telling a story.
So Corey was reading it last night or the night before. Actually, it definitely wasn't last night, so maybe the night before. And he was like, how about Simone? And I was like, no. But yeah, so that's a name you like that I don't. The next name that we both actually like, but we go back and forth on because it's just a little bit too common, is Mia. I think Mia's very cute. Again, it fits kind of the short name. It's not a unisex name. I mean, you could name a boy Mia, but I personally would not. I like how sweet it is. I like that it just very straightforward, Mia. The next name is also for a girl. I feel like a lot of girl names. Is the name Clover. I think Clover is also very sweet. I would use the name Clover, but you don't like it, right?
Clover. Yeah. No, not really.
I would use Clover would probably come up.
I'm not a huge fan of any name that's associated with like
something else.
An object, or I was gonna say inanimate object, but I think a plant is not considered an inanimate object.
Well, and you do realize that like most names are like that. We just don't think of them like that anymore. Like the name Harper.
Ours aren't, so like.
Ours aren't, but like for example, the name Harper, people hear and they don't think of it. But back in the day, the reason the name Harper was, it's because it meant like someone that was actually a Harper. Oh. And like a lot
that's not what I'm talking about.
I guess that's not the same thing. That's like a profession. Anyway, I think Clover's very sweet. It would probably be up there. Like I would probably use Clover before Onyx. Let's get some boy names. One of the boy names I really like, but I wouldn't use because it's a little long, and the nickname that would come with it, Elijah. I love the name Elijah. Both like a lot of biblical names. Elijah I think is very sweet, again, very strong, but I don't like Eli, and I feel like you're gonna have a fight if you name your son Elijah, and don't expect people to call him Eli. So that's pretty much out for me. What do you think?
I like Elijah, but that's only because I'm a fan of the Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I remember you
and
said
Elijah
that.
Wood's one of the key stars.
Yeah, see, like I don't do that. I don't really like. I think it's. I don't want to yuck someone's yum, but I think it's kind of weird when people are. You know, I like that saying. You ever heard it?
No, but you certainly do it enough, anyways. So.
I don't like when people are like, oh yeah, like I love this movie, or I like this show, so I'm gonna use it. Like it just, I don't know. If you happen to like a name and then you think like, oh, actually it has this connotation, and you love it for that reason even more, that's great. But I wouldn't do.
Well, that's like what I'm trying to say.
Okay, I wouldn't do the opposite, because people do that.
I'm not saying I strictly like it because he has that name as well, but
because people do that, so I wasn't sure. The next boy name I really like is Gideon. If you've heard of the musician, I think it's a play on Gideon, which is also in the Bible, but a little bit different. And actually, I said I didn't like nicknames. Give is, I love that nickname. I think if naming a son Gideon and calling him Give.
Oh, G-I-V as in Victor?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were saying Gibeon.
No, that sounds ugly. Gideon. I like Give. I would even potentially just do Give as a name. Okay, well, I guess not. The next name that I like is a unisex name, James. I would only use it for a girl. I actually don't like it for a boy. I don't know why, but for a girl, I think it's very cute, very sweet. You don't like it for a girl.
Regardless, I'm 100% against using a more common boy name for a girl. Like,
I know you don't, but it does make sense.
I know it crosses all the boundaries in her brain, but just...
Not even all the boundaries in it. So our top baby name is a unisex name, like a quote unquote.
It is, but it's an old school one. So
is James.
People are still called James and Jim all the time. Like,
okay. Going to more girl name again, a name that Corey I know would never allow us to use is the name Bloom. I don't know how I feel about this one. This one I think I mostly like because it's different. I'm not sure how much I like it. I just like the fact that it's so different, and I still think it's cute, like Bloom. And then when you grow up, it's one of those, like when you grow up, I'm not sure you want to be called Bloom. But yeah, it's still on my list. Probably will never use, but it's still there. This is one I heard recently that I really, really liked. Kristen Johns on Instagram, her sister-in-law named their baby Juniper, which I thought was very, very cute, and they call her Junie. I grew up reading Junie B. Jones books, so I actually really love the name Junie, but I don't really like names that end in E sounds. You liked Juniper when I mentioned it to you.
It's okay.
Yeah, but probably wouldn't use. And this is one that I added today, Haven, which I would use only for a girl. I know people actually mostly use it for a boy, but I really like Haven for a girl. I heard that apparently Jessica Alba, do you even know who that actress is? Yeah, she had her daughter, and her daughter was born like still in her placenta, which I didn't even really know was a thing. And so they called her Haven because it's like safe haven, and that's what a placenta is. But that, I've never heard of that. I didn't know that that was even possible. I feel like that'd be really scary to see and feel. And maybe it actually was probably, I don't know, I would assume it would be more comfortable instead of just baby coming out to have like a slimy the covering come out. I don't know.
It might be easier too, because
That's what I'm saying.
Isn't it like after you give birth, you still have to get rid of your placenta anyways? So hey, she just did it all at once.
Yeah, I just didn't know that was possible. Now I'm moving to my list that's technically middle names, but I will mention a few here. The first one is Jericho. I really, really, really like the name Jericho. I wouldn't use it as a first name because I just think it's a little bit too long. But as a middle name, I think. Oh, are you looking at Gucci?
Yeah.
As a middle name, I love Jericho. Again, it's just one of those like really strong names, a biblical name. It's a place, so not a person. What do you think? What is going on here?
I'm confused too.
We're like smelling each other. What do you think of Jericho?
I don't like that as a first name. I don't even really like it as a middle name.
I like it as a middle name, but the first name would have to be super short for that to work. The next name, again, is for a boy, because I feel like I did a lot of girl ones. And I don't really think I even like this one anymore. Is the name Nash. Do you like Nash?
Definitely not for her first name.
Yeah, not for a first name. But I feel like it also doesn't sound...
Nash is an okay middle name.
It's okay middle name. I don't think it sounds right, and it's like going into a little bit like...
It depends on the first name, so... Like Onyx, Nash?
No.
No. I'm not gonna come up with examples live because I'll just keep using the names that we might actually use.
Well, I don't care if you mention the ones that I already mentioned. I don't want you to mention like our top ones.
Yeah.
I don't know. Nash is going a little bit into like the country realm for me, and so I don't like that because I feel like a lot of people they're using it nowadays, and it's one of those names that was unique until like 5 years ago, and now everyone's using it. So
what about the first name Amazon?
No, I know you're just saying that. You have to be careful because if you say something like, and I think about it enough, I'm like, that's what you did with Seven, right? Yeah. Corey was like, what do you think about the name Seven? Like joking. And I was like, I kind of like it. Like, I would definitely potentially use that. The last name, is this the last one I want to mention? I'll mention two more. I'll mention one very unique one. That's named Shepherd. A woman that I follow on Instagram, Delilah Lepke. She just had a baby and he was premature, and she gave him the middle name Shepherd actually as an honorary name to a woman that she knew that lost her baby, I think at like 10 or 11 weeks. And I thought that was so sweet. And the name Shepherd, I think anyone, whenever you use that name, it just has a lot of like meaning and connotation to it if you know like what a shepherd is. So I thought that was really sweet. That's definitely a middle name for a boy. I would definitely potentially use. Do you not like it?
I don't know. I like that you could use the nickname Shep, but other than that,
Shep.
I'm not a huge fan of it.
See, but it'd be a middle name, so you wouldn't have to worry about
I
that.
thought you were talking about first name.
No, I wouldn't do first name Shepherd. That's
Shepherd. No, I don't like it.
It wouldn't work with our top boy name.
I don't like it at all. Like.
Wow. That's probably my favorite middle name now. So maybe we'll do some convincing there.
You already stole the first one.
I didn't steal it.
Yeah, you did. I don't even have a say in the first child's middle name.
So yeah, this baby's middle
her.
name is 100% chosen. It has to be her middle name. I will probably do a video actually explaining the meaning behind if her first name ends up being her first name, both of them, but especially the middle name. And I just know it's supposed to be her name, so I just like, it's not really up for discussion. And it is like, you don't hate it. You're not like disgusting, but.
To be fair, I don't even remember what it is right now.
Great, okay. Before we run it, because my camera's gonna stop filming at a certain point. The last name, which is more common, but we both actually kind of like, but I don't think we'd use, is Ella. I think Ella's very sweet. It could be a name. Yeah, it could be. We'll see. Maybe this baby will be Ella, and everyone will be surprised. All right, but that is everything. I thought this video would be shorter than it is, but it does take a while to go through names, so I just don't want to list them all off. Like, I want to give some background to it, but I wanted Corey to join to give a little feedback, even though I definitely spoke a lot more than he did, and he doesn't really have a lot of names that he likes that I don't, or at least not written down, so you just forget them all. So there are top 4 names as if we could plan to have 2 girls and 2 boys. We've actually had in my phone for like the last 2 years before baby. I don't even think you remember how long ago like we decided on those names, but it's been a really long time.
Really?
Yeah. So if we happen to have 4 kids and 2 girls, 2 boys, we most likely have their names, but who knows for sure.
All right, I gotta go.
Okay. Corey has to go back to work, but I'll end the video really quickly. So yeah, that's everything. Let me know your favorite baby names in the comments, or if any of our names that we love and may use, or names that I would absolutely use if it wasn't for Corey, are your favorites. And I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me / us before. Bye.